Thank you, sir. Our next guest is Chef Rajeev Goyal from India Food Tours. So this is a company that provides custom-made packages, tours and trips to their clients to give them an Indian culinary experience. They have these amazing excursion-like or workshop-type tours that one can add to their already designed itineraries or plan a complete tour with them. I would request Chef Rajeev to please come up on the podium and share his thoughts.
Good afternoon, everyone. While listening to all the honorable speakers here, I was thinking, what should I say? Should I be from the industry? Should I talk about the educational or the course you're going to take for next 4 years? I think you're going to have enough from the course for the rest of the 4 years. I'm going to talk about what happens after the 4 years. So you guys are lucky that you are into one of the institute that I couldn't make it. I regret still now. And when I was thinking while coming here that I'm coming to an institute that I couldn't make it, but addressing students, what should I address them? Still, if now it's one of my preferred institute to hire students from, because I don't look out for like, will they be good or will they not be good? But this is the point where you decide what you want to do here. So at this moment, tourism and hospitality managements are being given together. The courses are together. But the other side of the educational studies is that this gives you an opportunity to become ambassador of the country without pursuing IFS courses. You're the first front line of the tourism industry. Either you are in hospitality or you are in the tourism. So you become ambassador and you don't realize one big, you can say, responsibility on your shoulder. And if you miss out, see, we all had fun in our colleges, we have fun in our education time. But there is one thing that you cannot, you can do a re-exam in the school time, but there is no re-examination in the real life. Morning you start with, you know that you always are on a holiday, you are happy, you have excitement, bring me on, you feel people or you meet people who are excited about their day. So it's one of the best factors of being in this industry. And second, what I say that you get a responsibility or an honor to show the world what is your country is. So I'm one guy, and can say proudly, I can say it's the only company in India right now who offers the concoction or a cocktail of both courses together, which is hospitality and tourism together. So I run culinary tours. It's one of its own kind. I think let's start from here.
So when the foreigners come to India, they don't usually like to eat Indian meal 3 times a day. So isn't it a cultural shock to them if we just present them with Indian meals all the time?
If I go by the routine thinking as we were doing till now, you can call it as a shock, but I call it a requirement. So cultural shock, no. I say we are showcasing our cultural heritage. If I say the food and beverage part or the culinary part of our country would be a crown of tourism, would not be a wrong. Because no other country beside India have a logical history of food. We do not eat anything just like that we grow around. We have a reason, we have a pairing, and which has been sorted from thousands of years. We do not eat anything which is not healthy to us by logic, if I go by traditional things. I am not talking about the adaptation that we got recently. They taste good, I love them too. But if we talk about sensibly that what logically or traditionally we have, I think they are more eager than us to learn from, if it not be a wrong thing to say, by 2025, Indian cuisine could be the ruling cuisine in the world. As of now, if I talk about 1 or 2 ingredients of the Indian cuisine like turmeric, the world is learning right now. If any of you visited London or maybe visiting UK soon, you may encounter a golden latte. A golden latte means a haldi wala doodh. They are learning the importance of the turmeric in their life. If I talk about the turmeric tablets, which called curcuma. Curcuma basically in the West they are taking it as a tablet. We take it every day in our food. We learned that turmeric is healing, so you never find a curry in India if it involves water. There is always a turmeric in it, because we have a logic that we want to clean the water before we eat it. So these are some of the factors which actually people are eager about, and it was never been plattered earlier that you can also eat your way while traveling in India, since it's already a mandatory requirement to eat while you're traveling, so why not to make it interesting? So that's how this shop turned into enjoyment.
Students, anybody from any of the wings, tourism and hospitality courses, we have experts with us. Chef Rajeev is with us, who would be taking the question coming from the hospitality or maybe from tourism. Danish Kalam Sahab is also with us. So any question related to your career prospects or to the industry, you may ask them. You may raise your hand.
Of course, what he said, I completely agree to it. That positive is very important part of your job profile. And somewhere or the other, sometimes you find that people are. But for me, one of the important criteria of hiring is that there is always a. We always get confused when we ask for this or that we need people. So he asked me to send the job description, and we very much in trouble when we have to do that, because the only criteria we look for is the smart people in our company. So we say that if we put some, possibly we might lose some smart people. So it's better to just judge the people by the smartness, as they are already been classified into, like for example, if I'm picking up the kids or students from this particular institution, which is already a very reputed institution. So I'm trusting their studies, what they have done here. So subject-wise, they're okay with me, but I try to interview as many as people possible. So you never know that there are certain abilities you are carrying. So you should never come with a mindset to any organization. Rather, never go with the mindset that I am joining it for particular segment. You never know, you are better in flying than swimming. So I never judge fishes how better they can fly. So it's better that keep open mind about your studies, and when you're selecting your employer, that what position I am going for. So that is my answer for this. Any other questions, guys? So first, you're too shy about it?
Sir, my question is for Rajeev sir. Sir, have the tourists ever complained about the unhygienic environment of the local street stalls in Purani Delhi or the locality over there?
So one of our major operational area is Old Delhi. From past 4 years, I am strongly working as a CSR activity, which is corporate social responsibility, to uplift the visual hygiene factor. So as of now, if you visit certain selected places, because for me one of the major criteria to select my vendors was they should have a history, they should have a logic what they're serving. So I've been providing them free gloves, hats and aprons, and educating them about, since they have gone international now after a visit of the international tourists, that they should start working on their personal hygiene or visual hygiene on that particular place. And it has been very well taken by them, because maybe they have been operational from past 70 years to 200 years, but they understand that this has gone international now. And I also want to mark you, all of you guys here, that it is a very high time when you got into this course, because this is also a translation period for this industry, that from the regular time we are going digital now completely. Your Facebook, your Instagram, your digital platforms are one of the major influence to travel in India. So I rather say that you should learn wisely what you're doing, because I see the big traffic coming into the country in the coming years. So you better be prepared rather than being shamed at the podium that you haven't learned it right by that time. Any other question, please? Yeah, please.
Sir, what is important for you, the marks or personality?
See, to get certified that you have done well in the class, the marks are one of the major factors. But I am, I see that where it's coming from. So, both the things go very hand on hand. So, if you haven't focused on what you're paying for, I cannot expect you to have a good attitude. Because I have to pay you for that, and you haven't respected what you have paid for. While starting, you are paying the fee, and if you're not respecting that, how could you expect me to be respectful to you when I'm paying you? So, of course, reasonable marks are important for me, but you don't have to be a top-notch guy while studying, because I believe in half marks and a half. I really want you to be outgoing. I want you to be explorer while being in my company. We force people in my company to travel at least once or twice a year to get the global or domestic exposure that what's going around in the world. But I don't want only wanderers, that you are missing 80% of your class just to wander around, and you miss out the important factor which I could be needing in my institution. So both goes hand on hand, but the top students are also preferred, but the rest numbers will not be left behind. So I accept the attitude and marks, both. Any other question, please?
Do you guys have any more questions?
आगे तक जाएं, कुछ लेवल तक जाएं, तो सर आप कहते हैं कि जैसे मेरे फादर कहते हैं कि ज़्यादा पढ़ो मत, डाउन टू अर्थ रहो, तो सर बट डाउन टू अर्थ रहना, तो मेरे फादर कहते हैं कि डाउन टू अर्थ रहो। अगर जैसे हम इस स्पोर्ट में बहुत आगे तक जाते हैं, ऊंचाई तक जाते हैं, तो हम जो हमसे नीचे हैं, हम उनको कैसे बिहेव करें और ज़्यादा डाउन टू अर्थ रहना, सब आप
I'm just stealing the mic from him. I think your question already have an answer there. Where you asking that your father says, आपके पिताजी कहते हैं कि ज़्यादा उड़ो मत. तो exactly जहाँ पर अभी आप हैं और जिस पोडियम पे आप सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, ये वही समय है जहाँ आप अपनी जड़ें मजबूत कर सकते हैं. उनका मतलब उड़ने से नहीं है, उनका मतलब है कि आप अपनी जड़ें मजबूत रखो. आपकी हाइट पे फिर किसी को कोई डाउट नहीं होगा अगर आप ऊपर उठेंगे. इसे कि आपकी जड़ें मजबूत होनी चाहिए. So if you have learned it right, no one can stop you from growing. I think you should redefine the terminology. आप जो अपने शब्द इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, उनको सुनने की बजाय समझना शुरू करेंगे. You will get a better answer by yourself. उन्होंने सिर्फ ये कहा है कि आप ज़्यादा उड़ो मत. बस एक टाइम पे वो ये मीन करते हैं कि आप अपनी जड़ें, आप जो स्टडी यहाँ कर रहे हैं, अगर आप उसको ढंग से कर रहे हैं, तो आपको ऊपर बढ़ने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता. तो आपकी जो स्टडीज है वो मजबूत है, अगर आपकी रूट्स मजबूत है तो ऊपर बढ़ने से कोई भी नहीं रोक सकता. बस he just want you to be what you learning should be right.
Expert in taking tour of food tours. Yes. How is it different from taking like monumental tours and other tours?
I would not say it's different. It's same. I won't say it's same. It's different because हिस्ट्री दो तरीके की होती है. एक जो आप देख सकते हो और एक जो आप समझ सकते हो. सो वी वर ट्राइंग टू रीडिफाइन एंड से कि एक हिस्ट्री ऐसी भी है जो हिंदुस्तान में आप खा सकते हो. एक मिनट के लिए मैं दूसरी तरफ अगर मैं बात करूं, इंडिया को छोड़कर, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कंट्रीज व्हिच आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू मेक सर्टेन टूरिस्ट अट्रैक्शंस. एग्जांपल है दुबई. इफ यू गो ऑन गूगल एंड रीड और लुक एट द पिक्चर्स ऑफ दुबई 20 years back, there was nothing. It was just a desert. So the importance of the tourism was that कि कुछ होना चाहिए. इंडिया में तो है already, exist करता है. It is just that how you identify it. And being a human nature, we love to keep on exploring. आज पूरे दुनिया में, पूरे विश्व में हमें अपने खाना को इंट्रोड्यूस करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. एटलीस्ट लोग जानते हैं हमारा जो सब्जेक्ट है खाना, इंडियन फूड. ज़रूरत थी कि इसका जो एक दायरा है उसको बढ़ाकर लोगों को दिखाने की. एक बेनिफिट मैं मानता हूँ, बीइंग जो लोग हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री में हैं यहाँ पर, फूड टूरिज्म से एक डिफरेंट बेनिफिट जो हमारी इंडस्ट्री को होता है कि हमारा किसान, द वेरी मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ आवर इकोनॉमी इज फार्मर. तो एटलीस्ट वो उगा पाता है जो हम खाते हैं. आज बहुत सारे नए विदेशी चीज़ें ऐसी आ रही हैं. केनुआ कौन कौन जानता है यहाँ पर? केनुआ it's been marketed as a very healthy thing. I think 8 times more healthier thing is millet, bajra. Bajra is 8 times healthier than quinoa, but our farmers are being forced now to grow an international crop by using different chemicals. So food tourism at least encourage them to grow the indigenous food since it's getting popular and back in demand. So I always request all of you, since it's a mass platform, that try next time to go for indigenous food as well. I'm not saying you skip the others, because anyway the economy is growing within us, but also try to prefer the indigenous food, so at least our farmers should be relieved and should be encouraged to grow what we can grow easily and less burden to the soil and water resource, natural resources. So आपने कहा कि food tour कितना different है. I'm coming back to now. So हमने identify करा कि culturally हम क्या क्या चीज़ें खाते हैं. जैसे आप लोग टूरिज्म स्टडी करते हैं, हमने फूड टूरिज्म स्टडी करा और एग्जैक्टली ऑलमोस्ट पैरेलल टू व्हाट यू हैव स्टडीइंग नाउ. हम अपने रिसेंटली अगर हम बात करें करंट सिचुएशन में, हम पिछले 500 साल का खाना खाते हैं आज रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में. चाहे हम मुगल खाने की बात करी जाए या ब्रिटिश की बात करी जाए, दीज वर द 2 recent डायनेस्टीज ओवर इन इंडिया. चाहे हम नाश्ते में ब्रेड ऑमलेट खाते हो, चाहे हम निहारी खाते हो, these are basically the historical food that we still maintaining it. So हमने बजाय उस historical era की, if I start defining them, अब कुल्फी फलूदा 14वीं सदी में बाबर लेके आया था हिंदुस्तान में, इंडिया में इन्वेंट हुआ था. तो I'm sure it becomes more, because ये history वो है जो आप साथ साथ enjoy कर सकते हो. If I'm telling you just कि बाबर 14वीं सदी में हिंदुस्तान आया था तो आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I'm sure you will be happy कि ये बेचारा हमारे लिए कुल्फी लेके आया था 14वीं सदी में, तो I'm sure you feel better about it. Isn't it? फिर मुगलों ने दिल्ली आ गए, दिल्ली में क्या करा? आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. लाल किला आप जाके रहते हो देखते हो. But at the same time, when I tell you कि मुगलों ने दिल्ली आकर निहारी बनाई, there is a dish called nihari. I'm sure you are happy to know, or you feel very connected, because at the same time you are eating that history. I can feel. अगर मैं शाही टुकड़े की बात करूँ, आप माने में से कितने लोग शाही टुकड़ा जानते हैं? ये कौन लोग हैं जो नहीं जानते? मैं जानना चाहता हूँ. अगर आप देखेंगे एक मुगल डिश को इतनी सुंदरता से ब्रेड के साथ में इंकॉर्पोरेट करा गया. ये एक दो कल्चर का संगम है, ब्रिटिश एंड मुगल. आप देखेंगे ब्रिटिश ब्रेड लेके आए थे भारत में, हमारी अपनी 628 ब्रेड्स हैं डॉक्यूमेंटेड इंडिया में, बट सैंडविच ब्रेड नहीं थी, ये ब्रिटिश लेके आए थे. और उसका कितना अच्छा रूपांतरण करके शाही टुकड़ा बनाया गया. तो ये दो कल्चर का कॉम्बिनेशन है. और अगर आज किसी विदेशी को आप बताओगे कि हमारे पिछले 500 साल में 2 डायनेस्टी थी, जिसमें एक मुगल थी और एक ब्रिटिश थी, तो जब ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन टाइम आया तो कुछ ऐसी डिशेस भी मिली जो आज एक आइकॉनिक डिशेस के रूप में पूरे वर्ल्ड में सर्व करी जाती हैं. और बहुत सारे ऐसे बेस इंग्रेडिएंट हैं जो भारत में ही इंडिजिनस हैं. दुनिया को हमने आम दिया, जिसके लिए हम बहुत प्राउड हैं कि हम आज भारत में सबसे ज़्यादा तरीके का आम पाया जाता है. तो इसी तरीके से जब इंटरनेशनल टूरिस्ट विजिट करता है इंडिया में, मैं बार बार आपसे जोर डाल रहा था कि 4 साल जरूर पढ़िएगा, क्योंकि आज का जो ट्रैवलर है स्मार्ट, ही गॉट गूगल टू सर्च अबाउट थिंग्स. और अगर आपने ढंग से नहीं पढ़ा, उसने ढंग से पढ़ा है आने से पहले. आज हम 2019 में, मेरे पास में 2021 तक की बुकिंग्स हैं आज. So those guys have enough time to research about their trip, what they are going through, what they are going to eat, what they want to learn about. तो अगर आप जब उनको समझा रहे हैं या उनका इंडक्शन कर रहे हैं and you are not right on that part, so it's a big embarrassment for a individual. So that one of, because I still study, I'm a company man, I run a company, but मुझे लगता है कि शायद I still order at least 2 to 3 books a month कि मैं नया कर रहा हूँ. It is same with my staff. We have an in-house library कि आप नया क्या कर रहे हो. So education never stops. At the day you feel education has stopped in your life, I think you're not learning anymore. While doing the research of food, there is enough to read और बहुत exciting है. जैसा कि मैंने आपको 2 मिनट के लिए 2 डिशेस के बारे में बताया. Did you find exciting or did you find interesting for yourself? Those who felt, please raise your hands. Okay. So imagine that if you have to do this every day in your life, you are learning about new thing. कि अरे ये तो मैं तब से खा रहा हूँ और मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि ये. आज कितने लोग छोले चावल जानते हैं? आपकी मदर बनाती है छोले चावल. Can you imagine historically GT रोड हमारे लिए काबुली चना बोलते हैं ना, हम भूल जाते हैं काबुली चना को, उस समय चढ़ने पे फोकस रखते हैं, बट काबुल से आया था हमारे यहाँ. एक शेरशाह सूरी मार्ग है GT रोड, ये इसके द्वारा आया था यहाँ पर. दिल्ली में खारी बाबरी कौन जानता है? स्पाइस मार्केट है, बिकॉज ऑफ द GT रोड सेंटर में है. सो बेसिक हम कुछ नया नहीं कर रहे, मैं कुछ बना नहीं रहा. हिस्ट्री जो हिस्ट्री लिखी गई है उसमें से अपने सब्जेक्ट के बारे में चीज़ें सेलेक्ट करके निकाल रहा हूँ. Second thing I do is a photography tourism. I run a company called India Photo Tour. I'm also teaching photography. और photography को भी हमने इसी तरीके से डिफाइन करा गया है. आज एक मॉन्यूमेंट को तो आप घर लेके जा नहीं सकते, बट उस मॉन्यूमेंट की पिक्चर को ढंग से अपने तरीके से खींच के आप ले जा सकते हो, एंड दैट इज योर प्राइज टू योरसेल्फ. सो there are a lot of verticals that you can explore within. I see a lot of new tourism coming in. I see yoga tourism coming in. Cuisine is one I'm talking about. I'm working on a tea tourism. I'm working on a coffee tourism. I'm working on a wine tourism, whiskey tourism. The opportunities are endless. I heard somebody was really focusing on textile tourism. आप हमारे में से सब दिल्ली में से हैं या कोई अलग-अलग, कोई वाराणसी से आता है यहाँ पर? वाराणसी is a silk city, and I met one of the scholar guys, and he is trying to promote the silk tourism, making people learn कि silk weaving कैसे होती है. And I'm sure हम भारत के अलग-अलग हिस्सों से आ रहे हैं, हमारे हर प्रदेश में कुछ ना कुछ एक अलग चीज़ होती है. So there is a big potential. So जो आप यहाँ सीखोगे, this will help you to grow in your own stream. This will bring you attitude to grow yourself into the field you select, you create. Maybe possible you won't have a competition in that field. जिस बंदे से मैंने बात करी जो सेल्फ टूरिज्म कर रहा है, he is the only guy, one guy, no competition. Of course it's a hard job. किसी चीज को बनाना hard job है, but at one time you find there is no monopoly. आपका competitor कोई नहीं है, because this is your. It's feeling like a Neil Armstrong. You are the first one to stepping on the moon. So this education here will help you to grow in your own manner. मैंने वो चीजें चुनी अपनी लाइफ में जो मैं करता हूँ आज, जो मुझे बचपन से पसंद थी. I grew up in that. बेसिक स्टडीज के बाद में मुझे खाना पसंद था, मुझे घूमना पसंद था. आई रन अ कंपनी culinary टूर करती है और रोज मैं अपनी जिंदगी में वही चीजें कर पाता हूँ जो मैं चाहता था पहले. तो इसी तरीके से जो आपको बताया जा रहा है दैट इज जस्ट अ बेस. आप उसको कैसे ग्रो करते हो दैट इज योर ओन एबिलिटी. सो डू नॉट स्टक, अपना नैरो माइंड ना रखें कि जो आप पढ़ रहे हैं वही जिंदगी है. दैट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. और वो अच्छी जिंदगी कैसे दे सकते हैं उसका कोर्स है, ना कि लिमिटेड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर कोर्स व्हाट यू स्टडिंग. So, any other questions, guys, please? Please.
How can we make people understand this tour and travel management and all these things? Like, how can we make the people understand this industry, that what's going on in this industry?
So, I still need to understand the question again because
like people are there who doesn't know anything about tour and travel. Like they think that it's just a course for fun. Those who are not getting admission in BSc, MSc, MBBS and all those things, they are doing tours and travel. It's not like that. So how can we make people understand that there is something in this industry as well?
if I rephrase your question, you mean what is the importance of travel and tourism compared to other courses? देखिए वो चीज़ है, वो इंडस्ट्री है जिसके लिए लोग पैसे खर्चा करते हैं. आप आज घूमने जाते हैं कहीं पर, आप पैसा खर्च के जाते हैं. अगर आपको वही जिंदगी रोज जीने को मिल रही है, देयर इज अ डिफरेंट फन. यू नो, आप तैयार होकर जाते हैं. आप मैंने देखा कुछ लोग ब्लेजर्स में टाइज लगा के. इट्स अ वेरी गुड फील, इजंट इट? Two of the gentlemen sitting here, you're dressing up nicely in the morning. What else you need? You get to shave every day. So travel and tourism is the attitude. You know, you stand out with 20, 30 different people and somewhere or the other they have to come to you or pass through you. So this is one of the milestone or a checkpoint that if somebody grows well, that has to. और बहुत कम इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो एक विलासता इज टर्म लग्जरी, which reflects luxury. So you represent a organization or an industry which shows luxury, which is already, you know, बहुत कम इंडस्ट्रीज जैसे कह पाते हैं. जैसे मैंने कहा, आप तभी ट्रैवल करते हैं जब आपका पेट भरा होता है, आपकी ज़रूरतें पूरी हो गई होती है, then you get into traveling. आप खाली पेट ट्रैवल तो नहीं करते ना, या आपके पास कम पैसे हैं या आपके वो लोन चल रहा है तभी आप ट्रैवल नहीं करते हैं. So it is already a step level above a happiness industry. So if somebody doesn't understand that, you can't really make him understand. But one of the things that all of the guys who are here, you should understand one thing, that this is very luxury industry. If you go right, you can fulfill your dream very easily with just a job which you are doing every day. Please, any other questions? I saw the girl was raising her hand.
Sir, I want to be a chef. So what is the future of chef?
See, no industry commits you or no school, college commits you that you will be a best chef. As it has been asked by him, spoken by Dr. Nimit, that it's an attitude matters. You know that only 5 to 7% chefs you see on the TV. A lot of people get encouraged by looking at them. It's always about, देखिए जो आप सीख रहे हैं वो तो आपको करना ही है. आप क्या अलग कर रहे हैं, that matters. जैसा कि मैंने पहले कहा कि जो आप यहाँ लर्न कर रहे हैं, जो स्टडी कर रहे हैं, that is important. But इससे हट के आप क्या कर रहे हैं, that matters. So it's an attitude you have to wear yourself. The sky is the limit. अगर आप भविष्य में इस इंडस्ट्री में काम नहीं भी कर पाते हैं, but this course, this attitude give you a very different prospect to work anything. मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि ट्रैवल एंड टूरिज्म एक एटीट्यूड है. मतलब आप हो सकता है आईटी में भी या भविष्य में कोई और फील्ड में जाते हैं, you feel very different when you come from this background. So I see another gentleman, please.
There is one thing, like in the upcoming days, you will see a recession in India. Okay?
Sorry?
We can't hear you. You can come here.
Please come forward, please.
The upcoming days and 1 year to half year, you will be having a recession. Whatever the automobile industry is. So is there any job for us in the when we will be completing this? This is my third year. When I will be completing this after 1.5 years, is there like opportunity for us? Like, this is the first course that we are doing.
I'm still trying to understand your question. When you say that the different sectors are going down, what is the potential of tourism? That are you asking me for? See, we cannot go down ever with the tourism. हमारे पास में हमारे ancestors इतने jewels देखे गए हैं that cannot go down. And irrespective of the side industries, you know that if you really go study well right now about the industry, so they're not down. They're not making as much as profits they have made in the past few years. That's another thing, but let's not get into that. But talking about the tourism industry, yes, of course, I'm investing in it, I'm working in it, and I see a very good future. At least by looking at you guys who are sitting here, I can expect some sensible studies and future development in the similar field. So there is a huge potential and it's never been gone down. At least we are living in a country which already having an ornamental tourism circuits, and there is enough to develop more. So again, repeating the similar thing again, it all depends on you guys, how much diversification how much difference you make. If you are doing what you learn is not enough. What all opportunities are you creating while in the job? That will decide what is the future of the industry. So you guys are the future of industry. So that's why I'm emphasizing that study well, because this could not just you could be employed to someone else, and with a similar institute you can hire 10 more people. But if you haven't done right in your life here, possibly you're still stuck in some organization. So opportunities start from us. And these institutions only promise that they can educate you. They can't put the smartest in you. That is something that you have to develop yourself. So this is where I conclude talking about it.
I have a question, sir. What do you think will be the most demanded profiles in the tourism sector in the next 5 years?
Imagine when you say MICE is growing, that means business is prospering. And who are those people? Those people who are making money. They're also going on the holidays. So again, study strong and travel is 360. One or the other, because elementals are basic common. MICE, holiday, planning, they're all 360. So at this moment, at this stage, if you keep yourself narrowed to one subject, will restrict you from learning some more amazing opportunities in your life. So better learn the subject than specifically specialization until you get it right what you are doing right now. Anyone else? Please. Sorry, please.
So why there are less girls in kitchen than front office?
Why?
There are less girls in kitchen than front office.
There are less girls in the kitchen and more in the front office.
Yes.
I always complain throughout my life about this. We boys are struggling hard in the kitchen. No, it's a myth perception. I have a lot of fellow chefs who are female and they're doing amazing jobs. And in fact, you should ask yourself and your friends that why they're not choosing, why they are not in the kitchen. Because I say, I'm one of the guys in your side also complaining why the girls are not in the kitchen. See, I get irritated about seeing all the boys around me in the kitchen, like, come on, dirty faces, same thing. So please, I should say that you could be a brand ambassador for this and encourage others. Get in the kitchen, it's a wonderful place. You do a magic there, you know, no matter. ये इंडस्ट्री की लाइफलाइन है, पता है? आप कितना अच्छा सर्विस वाला हो, कितना अच्छा कुछ भी कर रहा हो, अगर खाने में जरा सा नमक तेज कर दिया ना, वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी शेफ की है, और वो सारा एक्सपीरियंस खराब हो गया. So I always believe that women have a special multitasking power. Why don't they use it in the kitchen? And there is a lot of opportunity to develop within the kitchen. So sometimes you see it's not a funny place, to be honest. It's a bad shit. You know, your friends are going on a holiday, for example, or on a festival, you're working in the kitchen. So chef is something I always say one should only opt if he likes that. It's not something, because possibly you have to miss out a lot of things, but you know, every day you become a creator of something. It is like, you know, stepping on a moon every day, you create a dish. That's a very different feeling, because that somebody is trusting you. When you are a chef, somebody is trusting you for his life. आपने सुना होगा एक term है महाराज. Have you heard महाराज term? बावर्ची को कहा जाता है महाराज. महाराजा के बाद में एक term दी गई है महाराज, कि जिसको महाराजा भी अपने आगे सरेंडर कर देता है. महाराजा सरेंडर कर देता है कि जो मुझे ये मेरा शेफ, मेरा बावर्ची खाना खिलाएगा, I trust him for my life. So it's a great career opportunity. I really encourage, because अगर सारे लोग front office में रहेंगे तो खाना कौन बनाएगा? So please, and of course the girls should get in the kitchen. You can ask us.
Sir, as everyone has a dream to complete their studies and go abroad to study,
Abroad.
to go abroad for their job or anything they want. So, what is the other option if I can't go abroad, or due to any reason if I can't go abroad? So, there is any company in India where I can job?
Answer is sitting for the I knocked on one of the visas. I was getting a moving visa to Canada 10 years back. And then one of the struggle point was like, नहीं यार मैं अपना देश नहीं छोड़ सकता. देश छोड़ के तो मैं छोले भटूरे नहीं छोड़ सकता. So वही देखो global audience होना global आज की डेट में हम already global है यार. बैठे हुए you have a phone internet. You're already global. घूमने जाओ काम करो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. But ये ना feel करो कि हमारे we are 1.3 billion people as a country. You know that? If you pick up the stats of last few years of India travel industry, India में सबसे ज़्यादा पता है कौन सी nationality घूमती है? Anyone can answer me? Anyone? कौन सी nationality के लोग सबसे ज़्यादा इंडिया में घूमते हैं? हाँ? देखा ये हमारी प्रॉब्लम है. इंडिया में सबसे ज़्यादा इंडियन घूमते हैं. And this is exceptional. This is exceptional. This is exceptional to the world क्योंकि और किसी कंट्री में इतने विदिन होम ऑडियंस नहीं घूमती है. सो हमें किसी की शक्ल देखने की जरूरत है, हमें किसी देश की तरफ देखने की जरूरत नहीं है इस इंडस्ट्री को ग्रो करने के लिए. यू मे सी डाउन किसी इंडस्ट्री को देखने की जरूरत नहीं है हमें. कहीं कोई कंट्री आ रही है नहीं आ रही है, हमारे अपने लोग काफ़ी हैं. सो आई थिंक द रियल मनी इज विद इन अस एंड इंडियन लग्जरी जानता है कंपेयर टू अदर पीपल. What I have understood in past 10 years, 15 years of the industry, we love luxury. Indians are the high spenders. Or nothing better than revolving your economy within the country. It is more or better for our own, so that you are, within you are revolving the economy. That really gives a better boost to indirectly to you or your family members. So क्योंकि हम सारे तो होटल में काम कर रहे हैं, रेस्टोरेंट टूरिज्म में काम कर रहे हैं, but I'm sure there are parents in the other industry as well. So tourism is one industry which have a 360-degree impact all around other ecosystem. So please focus on the country as well. I really want that because I'm promoting India like anything. I really want India to grow as best possible.
I want to know the importance of medical wellness in tourism.
Recently I was in Karnataka. I was invited by the government there to speak about it. So wellness we are considering in a multiple segment right now because we are not just limited to the different massages here now. Wellness, that's what we call spa, massages and medical treatment within through that. We have some of the ancient sciences like Kaladi and Abhigyaman or Shirodhara. Those tourism are actually been picking up very well right now. And there is a huge potential segment in that. So far if I say been majorly done in down south area, because it's been recently identified as a monsoon time is one of the best time to get, being a humid climate right there throughout the year mostly. It's a very appropriate ground or stage for getting any kind of wellness treatment. So yes, there is a huge potential within the wellness tourism, and by seeing now I'm coming to the medical, by looking at the doctors and facility within India and the way we are developing here, and ample amount of educated manpower and at a very reasonable cost. Of course it's been growing and I have seen growing this industry. I was a part of this medical tourism in 2007, and so far if I look at some of my friends who are still involved in it, they have grown multiple fold. For an example, still it costs around $5,000 to $7,000 for getting your teeth RCT treatment. And that incident I'm talking about one of the friend, when I not moved to Canada and moved to Canada, now he most of the time comes to India just to get his teeth treatment, and still cheaper in India. Like sometimes we don't even pay, we have some of the batchmates who are BDS now. So within that trip of 10 days, just to enjoy his family, ticketing cost I'm talking about, which costs almost like $3,000 to $4,000, and the treatment costs $10,000 right there for just 2 or 3 teeth of RCT treatment. So there is a huge potential I see it now. At least for the NRA or diaspora segment, there is already happening a lot. But if it's been marketed well, and as I see the government right now is focusing on it too in a multi-fold. Because we are also discovering some of the wellness tourism in up north, which we didn't have it earlier. But learning from the down south, we are developing in Uttarakhand and Himachal area some of their treatment by the herbs to the body. So there is a huge, you are one of the scholars, you are researchers for that subject? No. But I really appreciate this question because this is something out of the box you have been asking. So if you grow yourself on this, I really appreciate. I think I clap you for this question. Basically, no one has asked me something this kind of very saturated because this is what she's talking. She's talking after 4 years, after the studies. So she deserves a applause for this particular question. Anything you want to ask or anyone else want to ask something? Yes, please. I think we should limit ourselves to one or two questions. I think we have one last question, please.
This would be the last one.
Sure.
सर आई एम हैदर बेग एंड मैं मुस्लिम और सर होटल में जो वाइन एंड पोर्क वगैरह सर्व करने को होता है तो सर तो उस कंडीशन में मुझे क्या करना होगा सर अगर मुझे ऐसा
I always respect the sentimental religious sentiments. My wife is coming from she's also a chef. You know, I grew up in a Jain family. My mother is Jain. Anda bhi nahi jata hamare ghar mein to. And it is your attitude which matters to it. But in the industry, no one forces you because India is the only tolerant country which respects the religious sentiment. So trust me on that. Your fellow workers are there to take over because tourism industry is a teamwork. No one singly can play the role. So do the hospitality industry. There are a lot of buddies of yours sitting next to you or maybe who are really comfortably doing it. So don't be ever hesitant about that. You cannot grow in the industry being that you cannot serve the wine or liquor. So feel free ever. It's the only tolerant country about this kind of subjects. So never even put in your mind again next time. I'm sure your buddies who can do that are already taking care of that within the industry, that to respecting your religious sentiments on that. But I always say, you have to grow up a little bit. I'm not forcing you or change your sentiments towards or respect towards religion. But at some point we become global when we are in this industry. So think about it, how better or how you can take about these subjects. Anything else? I think that was the last question we were asking. Thank you all of you for listening us. And,
thank you so much for such an interesting session. It was quite enlightening for all of us, I'm sure. We would now like to felicitate you. I would request Sudha ma'am to come on the stage.